much growth have you had from the since you and I first met to now, as maybe as a percentage or something?
Oh gosh. I'm guessing, but at least 400% since we started. And that was through COVID. Our sales are 4 times higher than they were since we started.
I just want people to reflect on that for a second, because I talk to people every day, Lindsay, who come into my place just like you do. People that come in, they're not maybe not feeling healthy, and they come to you for treatments. People come into my life and they go, "My husband and I were contractors, we're dentists, we're doctors, we're lawyers. I just got off the phone with a lawyer he's a great lawyer. He went to college. He's checking all the boxes. He has the degree. No customers." What do you say? The guy, literally, I just talked to a guy just a moment ago, and he's in a different state, and he's going, "I have the degrees. I've got the accolades. I've got the resumes. I don't have any customers." And you can tell he's right on the verge of a breakdown, in need of a breakthrough. What do you say to somebody who can kind of maybe feel like they're overwhelmed with this whole entrepreneurship thing?
I say it's doable. I have a husband that has a high demand career. He works 80 hours a week in the fall. We have 7 children together. They're all active in sports. So I know what a full plate looks like, and it's not impossible to be successful as an entrepreneur. You've got to follow the recipe. You may feel like Clay's given some advice that feels redundant, but it does work. And it doesn't require you to completely leave your other obligations alone. I'm at my kids' sports. I'm there for them on the weekends. I get them carpooled everywhere, and I still own a multi-million-dollar business.
The problem is that knowing has become a substitute for doing. People feel good because they read a chapter, or watched a video, or listened to a talk. And for a moment, they get the emotional reward that normally comes from action, without actually doing anything. It's like reading about push-ups and feeling like you worked out. You didn't. But your brain got just enough stimulation to think you did. You see, knowledge without action is deceptive. It creates the illusion of progress. You feel like you're growing, but you're not. You're collecting insight, but insight doesn't change your body. Insight doesn't build a business. Insight doesn't save money. Insight doesn't fix habits. Only action does that. Most people don't need another breakthrough idea. They already have the right idea. What they need is to act on it, apply it, repeat it. Keep doing it long enough to see results. And that's where they fall short. Not in understanding, but in execution. Years ago, I met a man who had read more than 400 books on business. He could quote authors, recite strategies, break down models. He had notebooks filled with plans, graphs, and timelines. But when I asked him what he had built, he looked down. Nothing. He hadn't built anything. Why? Because knowledge alone doesn't build. Action does. And for all his learning, he had never moved. He never crossed the gap. You don't get credit for what you know. The world pays for what you do, for what you deliver, for what you follow through on. That's why someone with less knowledge, but more discipline, will always outperform the person with great knowledge, but no consistent action.
Now I'm going to get into the details. I want everybody to listen to what I'm saying, but as I'm getting into the details, please understand, folks, everything I'm saying does not matter if you don't wow your customers, okay? So everything that I'm saying to you right now is predicated on the premise that you will wow your customers. Okay, Thrive Nation, on today's show, I am so fired up for you to meet 2 people. One, there is an unbelievable cheesecake business I work with based in Oregon who's doubled her company in the last 12 months, and you're going to love the story. And the second business, actually the first one on today's show, we've had the opportunity to work with this wonderful company for years, and one half of the team behind the scenes that makes Revitalize Medical Spa happen is today's guest, Lindsay Blankenship. Welcome to the Thrivetime Show. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Hey, well, I'm going to pull up your website real quick because I want people to know that you're not a hologram and you're a real person. So Revitalize Medical, that's the business, revitalizemedicalspa.com. Tell us about the services that you guys provide there at revitalizemedicalspa.com.
Well, we provide all of your basic aesthetics like Botox and Juvederm fillers, all sorts of different brands of toxin fillers as well. And then we've added hormones, wellness, weight loss, peptides. That's kind of really the niche that I've sprung into that I just love and adore, and watching people feel better about themselves again and feeling like they're 20 again. So we do everything. We love women feeling like themselves again.
Let me ask you this. If we go back to when you were 20 again, um, did you want to run a medical spa when you were,
Oh,
and I know you're still 20, but did you have that vision when you were 19 that you wanted to run a medical spa, or how did you arrive into this wonderful, thriving business that you've built?
well, I think it's a little bit of a God thing. I never wanted to be a business owner. I always wanted to be a doctor as a little girl. Discovered a PA school as an option that seemed to fit me better. And then I met another PA who is my business partner now, and we just decided to get trained in Botox together, do it on the side, and we treated people right, have great customer satisfaction, and so it just exploded into this huge business with 3 locations. So we couldn't be happier now, but neither one of us had the entrepreneurial dream when we were 20.
What is a PA? For people that don't know that language, that nomenclature, what does PA stand for?
PA is a physician assistant. So I describe it to my kids as kind of in between a nurse and a doctor. We can prescribe. We have much more privileges than an RN, but not quite as many as a full-fledged MD. We can't do surgery by ourselves, but we can do all the aesthetics and weight loss and wellness and take care of people. So that's who we are.
Now, for a lot of our listeners, we've got about 1 million people a week that will download the show. Obviously, there's some listeners that will listen to 2 shows and some listen to 1, but there's about 1 million people a week that will download this broadcast on the various channels. And a lot of them live right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Some of them don't. For anybody who's in the Tulsa area, tell us about the services that you provide. Maybe kind of for anybody who's going, they're not at all familiar with your industry, or maybe who's your ideal and likely customer or buyer? Who's a good fit for you guys there at revitalizemedicalspa.com?
Well, we treat men and women, but mostly women. As you start to notice differences in aging, whether that's physically on your face or in your body or how you feel. So pretty much, 35 and up is kind of our prime market, but we do have some 20-year-olds, we have some 80-year-olds, but mostly that kind of mid-age mom that's not feeling like she used to, and just wants to freshen up, like I said, on the outward appearance or from the internal aspect.
Now, I can say this: you and I have worked together long enough now. I think it's been about 5 years, and I know people that have gone to your facility that speak very highly of your facility. How did you originally come in contact with us and my team? Do you remember how that happened, or how did you initially come in contact with us?
I know it was Krista, my business partner. She's the other 50% of Revitalize. She had a connection, word of mouth. I think it was somebody that was elephant in the room connection, maybe. I don't know. It
A
was
haircut business. Okay.
referral.
Yeah. And I just want to encourage somebody out there, somebody watching today's show, and they feel like you. They feel like, wow, I'm a mom. I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I'm a dad. Somehow have found myself being an entrepreneur. And you guys, over the past 5 years, you guys have had tremendous growth, and now you're opening up your 3rd location. So I've got a few questions here for you. One is, how much growth have you had since you and I first met to now, as maybe as a percentage or something?
Oh gosh. I'm guessing, but at least 400% since we started. And that was through COVID.
So you're saying, just to be clear, you're saying you've grown 4 times larger than you were since you and I've met. That's a real.
Yes, our sales are 4 times higher than they were since we started.
I just want people to reflect on that for a second, because I talk to people every day, Lindsay, who come into my place just like you do. People that come in, they're maybe not feeling healthy, and they come to you for treatments. People come into my life and they go, my husband and I were contractors, we're dentists, we're doctors, we're lawyers. I just got off the phone with a lawyer he's a great lawyer. He went to college. He's checking all the boxes. He has the degree, no customers. What do you say? The guy, I just talked to a guy just a moment ago, and he's in a different state, and he's going, I have the degrees, I've got the accolades, I've got the resumes, I don't have any customers. And you can tell he's right on the verge of a breakdown, in need of a breakthrough. What do you say to somebody who can kind of maybe feel like they're overwhelmed with this whole entrepreneurship thing?
I say it's doable. I have a husband that has a high demand career. He works 80 hours a week in the fall. We have 7 children together. They're all active in sports. So I know what a full plate looks like, and it's not impossible to be successful as an entrepreneur. You've got to follow the recipe. You may feel like Clay's given some advice that feels redundant, but it does work. And it doesn't require you to completely leave your other obligations alone. I'm at my kids' sports. I'm there for them on the weekends. I get them carpooled everywhere, and I still own a multi-million-dollar business.
Now I'm going to get into the details. I want everybody to listen to what I'm saying, but as I'm getting into the details, please understand, folks, everything I'm saying does not matter if you don't wow your customers, okay? So everything that I'm saying to you right now is predicated on the premise that you will wow your customers. Every advice I'm giving you henceforth only works if you wow your customers. So step number one, you've got to be intentional about gathering testimonials from real customers that really like you. And I'm going to give you a backhanded compliment. You're like the best kept secret in Tulsa. You guys do such a great job and customers love you, but it's not in your nature to, brag on yourself. And so the process of gathering actual testimonials from actual customers, that's been something you've learned to do. Could you talk about that for a second? Because before I met you, you were already wowing your customers. We needed to gather case studies and testimonials from real people. Could you talk about that?
Sure. Yes. Krista and I are medical people. We are not salespeople, and we hate asking people for things. But it works, and they're happy to do it if they love you. And if you treat people right, they love you. And sure enough, the majority of our referrals are from Google reviews or video testimonials, and they really don't mind helping you out when they love you. People love to talk about what they love. So
now tracking, again, none of this matters if you don't wow your customers, which is what you do. You have to track, what we measure what we treasure. So your husband is in a profession where they track the amount of points that are scored. Anybody out there who watches sports, if you're watching a game that matters, they're keeping score. But for some reason in business, people don't track. They don't measure by default. Can you talk about the importance of measuring what you treasure and you and your business partner diligently tracking the numbers every week?
I think what's helped us with tracking the most is encouraging each other when you feel like you're going through the motions and you're working your tail off and not realizing how much you're growing. The tracking is vital. Also seeing where our leads are coming from and knowing all this Google review stuff is actually working is vital. I think knowing where our money's going is important, and just kind of blindly doing it without knowing any of this is not helpful in your growth.
And working with you, one thing, just to be very transparent with our listeners, I charge you a flat monthly fee. You know what the fee is going to be every month. It's a flat monthly fee. That's how I work. But there's a lot of vendors, and I'm sure you've dealt with them in the past over these last few years, that if you're not careful, they're going to send you an invoice for something you didn't ask for. They're going to send you some, just today, I got a massive invoice, over $5,000 from a vendor that I never agreed to. And it's usually in those professional services. It's normally in the legal and the accounting and the real estate. And they hit you with these fees. And if you're not careful, if you don't fight for your profitability, nobody will. Could you talk about that a little bit? Because, and again, we're flat rate. That's what we charge you. It's a flat rate. But I'm sure you've started to see vendors try to solicit invoices and charge you for things. Could you talk about that, about watching your numbers?
Absolutely. I think greed is so dangerous, and other people that claim to be helping you or contracting with you see your sales or see some very intimate information like your bookkeeping, and all of a sudden they think they deserve more or a percent of your gross sales or whatnot. And so I think finding the right fit is super important. I think knowing the fees up front and making sure you're signing or not signing contracts is vital in especially as you grow, because people want a piece of your money.
Well, in the final 5 minutes I've got you here today, I want to ask you this here. For anybody out there that hasn't been to one of my conferences before or hasn't worked with us before, I always hear horror stories, as recently as just a moment ago, from this attorney. And he's like, I went to this guy's conference. Next thing you know, it's like $7,000 a month once you add up all the fees. And it's just this crazy contract I found myself in. And he was struggling to even grasp the idea that we do month to month and it's flat rate. And he's like, well, How long do you work with your clients? And I'm going, well, the average client's usually with us until they sell the brand. I mean, 6 years or 7 years, or I don't know. I mean, OxyFresh has been 18 years. Could you talk about the impact it's made on your business, knowing that, that we're a flat rate and you don't have to think about all the stuff we do in the background for you?
Yes, it's super important. And I think when we do analyze our tracking and our costs and where we can cut costs, our business coach is never on the table as far as that goes, because we know it's a flat rate. You're not going to hike up prices on us. And all the recipe you've given us for success is working. So, and just the accountability, like we would probably slack a little bit on those video testimonials if you weren't at us weekly about it. But I think it's important and it's invaluable, the price you pay.
Now, I have two final questions for you. You have a great team. For anybody out there, if you haven't been to the website, I encourage everybody out there. This is a pro tip for everybody out there. If you're watching today's show and you go to revitalizemedicalspa.com, just that traffic helps increase the rank of someone's website. So if you want to help your friends, go to their websites. It helps increase their rank in the search engine. So I encourage everybody, no matter where you're watching from, go to revitalizemedicalspa.com. But when we go to your website, you have a great team. And that's why I try not to tell, my wife is a cheerleading mother. We have kids in cheerleading, and I try not to tell anybody at all that I work with you. I watch it happen, and I hear people all the time brag about, oh my gosh, that's the place to go. They're awesome. They're great. But you have great people. You have great people. Could you talk about why you're so intentional about who you hire there at your business?
Yes, I think we had to learn the hard way. We hired some bad apples to finally find the good apples. Our team is amazing. You've got to find like-minded people. I think our patients too make the business. I think we've learned to be picky with who our market is, and some people want a look that we don't want to give. And so we tell them, and we're not scared to turn away clients and say, we're probably not your best fit. So that helps a lot, finding your ideal and likely market and being specific with that and picky. And same with your employees. That's so important. Don't settle. Don't ever settle, because it'll bite you in the butt.
Now, my final question I have here for you, I'm pulling it up right now, and I'm going to show you some data. You're a smart woman. You're an analytical person. You look at things. So I'm not assuming you just to blindly believe these numbers. But this is the U.S. debt clock. This is the website that tracks the national debt. And you might see people post about this. And we're going to try not to focus on these numbers, but I want to zoom in on one number in particular. In a country of 341 million people, Americans, we only have 8.9 million self-employed people. Now, just to give you some background on this, folks, just some perspective, if 10% of our population was self-employed, we would have 34 million self-employed people, but we don't. And so if 3% of our population was self-employed, we would have 9 million self-employed people-ish, but we don't. Folks, we are talking about, we only have, 2%-ish of the American population that is self-employed. And then according to Inc. magazine, this is going to blow someone's mind here. According to Inc. magazine, and the U.S. Chamber has their own studies too, but 96% of businesses fail. Think about that. I mean, by default, most people have no idea where they're going. And by default, they fail. So as you are triumphantly opening up your third location, can you talk about just the peace of mind you have knowing that you're following a proven plan? Because everybody else by default seems to be guessing and failing, and you guys are following this plan. You're doing it week after week. Now you're opening up the third location. Can you talk about just maybe the peace of mind you feel following a proven plan?
It's worked. It's worked through 3 locations, and we're about to move into this brand new building for our third location. And because it's worked historically in the past, we just trust it's going to keep working. We always, at the end of the year, when we're looking at our total sales, it always blows us out of the water. It's way over what we predicted or shot for, and it's because we follow the process. We do the work, and it works.
Now, I'm not going to mention your husband, what he does, but I'm just going to say this. You guys are great people. I think your husband is first class. I think you're great. You and one of my clients in Oklahoma City are the only people that I know who have 7 kids. I have 5 kids. I've read stories about people that have more than 6 kids, but you guys have 7 kids. You're doing it. Everybody out there, I'm telling you, if Lindsay can find time to do it, you can do it too. Lindsay, the final 30 seconds, I'll give you the final word. What do you want to say to everybody out there who's watching today's show, maybe feeling a little overwhelmed, struggling to find the time to do it? You're doing it. What would you say to anybody out there watching?
Well, thank you, first of all. I think I'm my husband's biggest fan too, and he's awesome. My biggest advice is don't give up. You can do it one day at a time, one step at a time. Again, I work 28 hours a week now, and I have 7 kids and this multi-million dollar business that we just keep opening more locations, and it's doable. We do the hard work. We don't slack off in any department, but it's worth it. And I wouldn't trade being my own boss for anything in the world.
Well, it's an absolute honor to serve you, and I appreciate you carving out time. And just so people know, you're having massive success. I called Lindsay. I said, is there any way you could hop on the show to encourage some of our listeners? She did not call me. She's a very humble person behind the scenes. And I appreciate you stepping out of your comfort zone to be here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, I can say just from this last January to last January, if you just took that month with our online shipping orders, we grew 240%. I would say two things, and you did not pay me at all to say this, but I would definitely go to one of your conferences, because what I tell people, it's not a motivational conference, it's an action-packed conference, and you're going to learn the steps to grow your business and scale it if you want.
If your mom has a sweet tooth, you might want to listen up. We recently talked to an Albany-based cheesecake company led by a mom with an inspirational story and some delicious decadent cakes. Check it out. I'm joined now by the owners of Beloved Cheesecakes, Jen Jacobson-Brusa and Gabe Jacobson. Thank you both for coming on. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you so much.
Folks, on today's show, we have the pleasure, the honor to be joined with a real longtime client of mine, a wonderful lady. She's built a wonderful business called BelovedCheesecakes.com. Jen, welcome on to the Thrivetime Show. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Clay.
Hey, I was good. The reason why I wanted to interview you on today's show is that at the conference we did, the last conference we did, you came up for a while. We had you do kind of a question and answer session. And we had one particular conference attendee that was telling me they were very inspired by the fact that you are just on your grind. You're implementing these action items. And they were saying that they felt through hearing you talk about how you were embracing the grind and diligently implementing the action steps that we've been coaching you through, it inspired them that they too could do it. So I wanted to ask you first, how did you originally hear about us or the coaching program that we offer here at the Thrivetime Show?
My first time hearing about you was at the Reawaken America Tour in Oregon of 2022.
Okay. And you know, we've worked with you since that time, and it's been really spectacular to watch you grow your business. For the listeners out there that aren't familiar, I'm going to pull up your website. It's belovedcheesecakes.com, belovedcheesecakes.com. Tell us about the business, how many locations you have, and just kind of give us a little bit of familiarity into your business there.
Yeah, so I started Beloved Cheesecakes 5.5 years ago as brick and mortar in a small town, Silverton, Oregon. And that was 8 months before the lockdown. And anyways, end up having you come on board, and we've been growing. We now have 2 brick and mortar locations, have an online presence, and now I'm in a prestigious, like, bougie grocery store and 20 different restaurants and growing.
So let's talk about it real quick here. Jack Welch, the CEO of GE, and I'm not trying to paint you into a corner, and I don't expect you to be a Jack Welch expert, but he did grow GE by 4,000%. He's also the best-selling author of a book called Winning. He wrote the following quote. He said, "You've got to eat while you dream. You've got to deliver on short-range commitments while you develop a long-term strategy and vision and implement it. The success of doing both, walking and chewing gum, if you will. Get it done in the short range while delivering a long-range plan and executing on that." Man, I wish more entrepreneurs could hear that quote and understand it as it relates to your business and as it relates to you being a coaching client of ours. Talk to us about the balance between having the big vision of where you're going and then also needing to answer the door when a new customer comes in, shipping the cheesecakes out, hiring staff. Talk to us about the balance of thinking about your long-term vision and also your short-term daily demands.
Yes. Well, what I've learned from you and the business conference is how important it is to have a schedule. And if you don't have a schedule, your schedule is going to run you, having your to-do list. And And that's what it is. It's not, I in the past have been easily distracted with the busy things, you know, and I have to stay focused. I've learned that from you as well. There's so much I've learned from you, but you know, I mean, I just today I'm having to work the front. I'm dealing with customers, but I'm also having to make sure that we have everything taken care of for next week and have our you know, inventory and supplies and all that ready for next week. So it's just staying on task, not getting sidetracked, and being able to say, I mean, I just had customers come in and they know me and they're like, "Oh, hi, I haven't seen you forever." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I have a call I have to take, you know." So it's just staying on task.
Now, I'm going to pull up the kind of I'm going to go 90 miles an hour because that's what it's like being an entrepreneur. So I'm going to go 90 miles an hour because that's what it's like to be an entrepreneur. And I'm going to walk people through this path that we're guiding you down, the path that you're going down, and the path that's producing success for you. First off, you have to know your goals. Jen, 90 miles an hour. Why do you have to know your goals as an entrepreneur every single day?
Well, if you don't have your goals, then what are you shooting for? It's like you're not making, I've never been a basketball player, but you're not making the shot. You're just like throwing the ball and just hope it goes wherever. So you've got to know where you're shooting and have your goals for that.
Now, I'm not fishing around for you to tell me the answer on this, but I want the listeners to know, you know, your break-even point. You have to know how many customers you need just to break even. Maybe it's not the most fun to think about that, but every entrepreneur needs to know the numbers. Box number 3, you have to know how many hours you're willing to work. And you're somebody who will outwork almost anybody. You are a very hard worker, a diligent worker. You're also a business owner. You're also a mom. Let's talk about that, because the Bible in Genesis and Exodus, it talks about working 6 days a week and resting on the 7th. I think most Americans today don't work more than 40 hours a week. Let's talk about the grind.
It's real, you know, we now are in this bougie market called Zupan's Market here in the Portland area, and we have to deliver to them. So we have to be up at 4:30 in the morning on Wednesdays and be delivering. And then Wednesday we had an event that started at 5. It went until 10 at night. So we didn't get home until 11:30. And that's just what you have to do. You have to keep digging the ditch. I know it won't be like this forever, but right now you just have to keep doing it.
Now, the next area, the next box, and I want to brag on you for this. A lot of clients come to me and they say, "Hey, you know, I don't really have a unique value proposition." You guys had already, box number 4, had already established step number 4, a unique value proposition. Beloved Cheesecakes, you had already developed the flavors, the product, a great dessert item. I didn't need to help you with any of that. You'd already had that in place. I think the one thing we had to work together on, though, was to gather objective reviews from happy customers. So now when people go to belovedcheesecakes.com, we've got a large variety of happy client testimonials, objective reviews on Google, video reviews, and you can't fake that stuff. Can you talk about the importance of A, having a unique value proposition, and then B, gathering reviews from real people so that other people know about your unique value proposition?
Well, definitely. We have an amazing product that we're consistent. It's high quality. We have our no-brainer, which is free cheesecake samples. And I try to tell a lot of my business friends, you know, offer something for free, or, you know, like how you do $1 for your first month of coaching. And then what was the second part of the question?
No, I'm sorry to do a 2-part question, but I mean, one is you already had a great product, but I think one thing you and I've worked on together is making sure that the world knows it's great by gathering objective reviews. And before I met you, I think you had people love the product, but there wasn't a lot of online evidence that people did.
No, there wasn't. And I'm going to be honest, the first month coaching with you, I thought, this is so dumb. Why am I focusing on Google reviews? But I'm so glad that I focused on it. We've got amazing reviews, and it does make a difference. It keeps us up in the algorithm. It keeps us up on, people find us all the time through Google searching for best dessert or cheesecake. And then it's you want real experience. You want people to actually share and not be fake. So I look at reviews.
Now, since you and I have met, have you noticed an increase in the amount of online traffic or online orders or online purchases? Because again, you already had a great product before you and I met. And have you seen an increased amount of online traffic?
Oh, 100%. Increase in online traffic, increase in walk-ins. I mean, it's everything that I've implemented. Having you as a coach, if I wasn't doing the action steps that you share with us, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I mean, I think of myself without you in my life, and there's no way. I would not have known about the Dream 100. I wouldn't have known about the Google reviews, the images, the SEO, the more images, more reviews. I wouldn't.
And you're into what's so fun, and I called you today. I said we have to get you on the show. Is here we had an entrepreneur you've never met before, and I won't mention his name, but he was coming to our conference, almost depressed about where he was at with his life and his business. And he came to the conference because his family is so successful. So his family said, "Look here, buddy. You should come to this conference." And so he is a member of the same family, a different business. And he's like, wow, my family's having success. There must be something wrong with me. I don't know why I'm not having success. And when you came up and had the courage to just share about, wow, this is a grind, it inspired him to take action. And it's been unbelievable, the success it's had on him. Box number 5, branding. You guys have great branding. Everybody out there, if you want to see great branding, go to belovedcheesecakes.com, order a cheesecake, and you're going to see great branding. I'm talking about the packaging, the way the product shows up, the way the product tastes, the follow-up process, the way you call consumers if they have questions. Branding is a big thing. Branding is what consumers think about when they think about your business. Can you talk about the importance of being intentional about your branding?
We are very intentional with our branding. So, we are all about having a high quality, consistent product and giving excellent customer service. So we do a handwritten note with every cheesecake that is shipped. We call our orders. I mean, that's kind of a dinosaur age of people calling on the phone nowadays, but we call and thank them for their order, verify it, confirm it. And that's what we want to be branded for, is having exceptional customer service and exceptional product. And just even coming in, like going to your conference, I can try to tell everyone to go to the conference, but you have to go and experience it. And it's the same thing with Beloved Cheesecakes. I can tell you all about it. You can experience the taste of it, but it's different when you actually come in our building. And that's another exceptional brand that we have. We have signs all over the walls, and that's our branding inspiration.
Now, the final 5 minutes we have you here, again, we're going to go 90 miles an hour because that's the way entrepreneurs go. You broke away from your very busy day to do this interview, and I appreciate you doing that. A three-legged marketing stool, you have to have a consistent, turnkey, repeatable way to get customers. Now, in your business, we do the Dream 100, where we reach out to our ideal and likely buyers, and we let people know about the product, aka the gourmet grocery store, podcasters, influencers, that kind of thing. The second leg is we gather objective reviews from happy consumers, and we also write search engine content to come up top. So leg number 1 is Dream 100 marketing. Leg number 2 is online marketing. And leg number 3 is signs and wonders. You have compelling locations. You put up signage that makes sense. You're always offering the consumer a no-brainer offer for first-time customers. Can you talk about the mental stress that has gone away by knowing that you have a three-legged marketing stool of things that work? Because so many of my coaching clients tell me, they say, Clay, before we started working with you, we were trying everything and we didn't know what would work. And now we've got 3 things that do work. Could you talk about that, the importance of having a three-legged marketing stool in place?
Yeah, well, I think it does, because when you're hit as a small business owner, you have the people that have magazines, and they want you to be in their ad, or your radio stations. And, before I knew you, I was investing and bleeding with these radio ads and magazines. And, it's very simple. We have our Google reviews, we have signage, we have the SEO, we have all of these things, and we track how we ask every single person how they hear about us. And so we have a spreadsheet, and we're able to keep track of how people are hearing about us. And so we can see where our marketing dollars are of value. And we have returning customers, and so many people come in because they see the signs and then the Google reviews, so it is important, and it's simple. We make it so much harder by, doing all the other fluff, I guess. And
now,
yeah.
I don't want to paint you to a corner. I'm not looking for a hard number. I'm just trying to build somebody's encouragement they can do it. If you had to think back 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, in terms of the amount of online business you're generating now, people that find you from the internet, whether it be locally or online from out of state, how much kind of an increase do you think you've seen in online or traffic that's generated from search engine optimization, that kind of thing, than maybe 2 years ago?
Well, I can say just from this last January to last January, if you just took that month with our online shipping orders, we grew 240%.
It's so great. If you're out there, folks, I get emotional, coughing it up here, allergies. No, but if you look up Jen and her business, you are a very approachable, very normal person, but you're in the grind. And so my final two questions I have for you. Question one, what do you say to any entrepreneur out there that's stuck? They feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much that I need to do. And and in this case, this young man came to a conference and his own family's there with him. He's feeling like he's not keeping up, like he doesn't have what it takes. And your message encouraged him so much. He felt like he could do it. What do you say to somebody out there that feels kind of stuck?
Well, I would say two things, and you did not pay me at all to say this, but I would definitely go to one of your conferences, because what I tell people, it's not a motivational conference, it's an action-packed conference, and you're going to learn the steps to grow your business and scale it if you want. And then also, we do here at Beloved Cheesecakes, we have our to-do list, but we've taken 6 of the to-do list items, 7 of them, make them our priority for the day, and at least to check off those 7 items, or 7 items a day. So that way you are doing a little bit every day and you're seeing a dent in your to-do list as it keeps growing.
Now, final question I have here, and I know you have to get back to your shop because it's a very busy day there at belovedcheesecakes.com. A lot of our listeners, they look for a great gift idea. They want to get their spouse something for maybe an anniversary. Somebody's dating somebody. They're looking for a gift. Maybe they're going to take a gift to a family member. Maybe it's a birthday, Valentine's, 4th of July, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever the holiday is. And I encourage everybody out there to check out your products. But what should everybody check out if they have yet to experience belovedcheesecakes.com?
I would say check out our mini cheesecakes. You can get those. They're 4-inch cheesecakes, and you can pick up to 4 kinds. That's our ultimate sampler. You could do that. But yeah, we have Easter coming up. We have Mother's Day. We have graduations, all of those things coming up. And, it does make such a unique gift to give to someone that has everything. So,
Jen, thank you so much for your courage, A, to come up at the conference and share your story. I encourage so many people. And B, thank you for carving out time amidst your very busy day to be on the Thrivetime show today. I encourage everyone to go to belovedcheesecakes.com. That's plural, Beloved Cheesecakes with an S, belovedcheesecakes.com. Jen, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Clay. You have a great day too.
Bye-bye.
Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown 5 times. I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees, and now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrivetime, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. So I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences, and amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement.
Okay, Aaron Antis, September 25th and 26th. Guess who's coming back to Tulsa? I will give you a hint. His first name is Eric, and his last name is Trump. Whoa. and his father is the 47th president of these United States. Yes, Eric Trump is joining us once again here September 25th and 26th in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the two-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop. But Eric Trump is bringing friends. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Alina Habba will be joining Eric Trump right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Amanda Grace will be in the place. Dr. Stella Emanuel will be here in T-Town in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Julie Green will be on the scene. Mel K will be here to say hey. Dave Scarlett from the His Glory team will be here. It's going to be a blasty blast right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you want to start or grow a super successful company, if you want to make your wallet great again or make your wallet great for the first time, if you want to learn marketing, systems, scaling, human resources, accounting, social media, branding, search engine optimization, sales training, financial management, and more, get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. Once again, that's thrivetimeshow.com. Well, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States, he needed a competent man to run and execute his business plans. Showtime! So the man that runs the Trump organization for Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States and now the 47th president of the United States, is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint.
Right.
I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last pretty much since 2015. He's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second.
But that Clay Clark, man, he is one character.
It's a good word for him, character. Yeah, that is it.
Good, driven, smart. And I've never met a guy who was so hyper all the time. He's doing so much good. And then I met his mother, and she just says, she just lets him be Clay Clark. I mean, so he's endorsed by his mother, and he's doing magnificent work. So it was great meeting you out there and all the people that he surrounds himself with. Clay Clark starts his days at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine.
Yeah. But I have problems with my company starting at 9 o'clock. Yes, hundreds of people showing up at 5 a.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, he's a leader of a leader. He's a fantastic young man.
No, he is.
The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here. With the most people we've ever had in this building was for the Jim Brewer presentation. Jim Brewer came here, the legendary comedian Jim Brewer came to Tulsa. And we had 419 people that were here. 419 people.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, there's no more room. I felt kind of bad that a couple people had VIP seats in the men's restroom. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But I thought, you know what? We should probably add on.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. And anybody, don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that attend these conferences, and so to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrive Time Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge. Learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then, you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard.
Yep.
And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch and to make it entertaining when you're stretching. And this is a true story. When you get up and stretch, you'll be greeted by mariachis.
Sure.
There's going to probably be alpaca here, llamas, helicopter rides, a coffee bar, a snow cone. There's just...
You had a crocodile one time. That was pretty interesting.
I should write that down and I can do that.
Sorry for that one guy that we lost.
The crocodile, we duct taped its face so that we duct taped.
No, it was a baby crocodile.
And it was duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape around the mouth so it didn't bite anybody. But it was really cool passing that thing around and
I should do that. We have a small petting zoo that will be assembled. It's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to U.S. Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, that means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. Yeah. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business. But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. And this is no hyperbole, no exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet.
I was looking to learn how to take my business, like they've said today, from being very successful to being systematic. I've got a very successful practice in 3 different cities, make good money. Just want to take it to the next level with systems and processes to where I can drive my cars more.
Paul Hood.
I have been a CPA for 33 years.
And what kind of growth have you and your great team had here over the past, let's say, 5-6 years?
For the last 5, when I met you 5 years ago, we were doing 3 million. This year we'll do 24 million.
Whoa. And you say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch. It's Ted Escondido's, an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. And Jill Donovan, our good friend, who is the founder of Rustic Cuff. She started that company in her home, and now she sells millions of dollars of apparel and products. That's rusticcuff.com. And someone says, I want more. This is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay. I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we've got one guy who's given me a verbal to be here. And this is a guy who's one of the wealthiest people in Oklahoma, and nobody really knows who he is because he's built systems that are very utilitarian, that offer a lot of value. He's made a lot of money in the it's where you rent. It's short term. It's where you're renting storage spaces. He's a storage space guy. He owns the what do you call that? The rental,
a storage space.
Storage units. This guy owns storage units. He owns railroad cars. He owns a lot of assets that make money on a daily basis, but they're not like customer facing. Most people don't know who owns the mini storage facility, or most people don't know who owns the warehouse that's passively making money. Most people don't know who owns the railroad cars, but this guy, he's given me a verbal that he will be here, and we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Thomas Crossan, owner and founder of Full Package Media in Dallas, Texas. I've been a coaching client with Clay Clark since the beginning of our business. We started about a year ago, August of last year. I had no clients, no idea what we were doing, no clue really what was going on. And now we've grown to where we've got 6 photographers, we've got office space here. I have an admin, sales person that works for us full time, developing an online system. And a lot of that growth we attribute to Clay helping us. And there's so many things that, his stuff is not, revolutionary. It's not this crazy walk on hot coals and all this stuff. It's just real stuff.
It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. You think that's going to change your life? I promise you this will be 10 times better than that.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. It is life-changing. It is life-changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life-changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right, really. So if you're looking to have life-changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I promise you it will be a life-changing experience. We can't wait to see you right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Whoa. What kind of growth have you had since you and I have been working together over these past few years?
3.45 million. I got those stats before I got on here.
So you've grown by 3.45 million.
Yeah, 3,450,000.
Would that be like if you took the combined revenue and maybe doubled it? Have we gone up by
about almost 3, not quite.